Yeah, man, people. Good evening to everyone. I don't know. I'm here again. Yeah, to review. Yeah, the Jamaican Premier League. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. As I know, it's Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday, man. I enjoy myself over the weekend watching some football, some lovely sports. Yeah, as we call it, the sports that we love. But yeah, hope all the Jamaican Premier League fans are okay. Hope you enjoy the results that your team got over the weekend in match day 18. As I'm here to review what took place over the weekend. Yeah, big results. That last game of match day 18, defending champions came back to beat the Stars of the East, Arbor View, man. Wow, big victory there for Mount Pleasant. Yeah, wonderful game. That game was so physical though. That game was so physical. Trust me. I was expecting to see a red card. The trajectory of how the yellow cards was flashing in that game. But I'm going to get in that also. But I want to say, big up to the people them, who always come out and watch Montego Bay at their home ground at Westport Park. Yeah, it's so beautiful to see the home team fans is coming out to support. That's a support. That's a support. I wish all the teams get whenever they play at home. I understand that most teams right now is not playing at home. Like Tivoli, is not playing at home. Arbor View is not playing at home. But hopefully, when we get back those teams playing at home, hope they can get back, the home base crowd, as it's massive. It's really massive, to help the team, just to be a 12 man. You saw every time when I don't think a Monday a TV game ever played at Westport Park. The only TV game that they got it was that Monday night game at Catherine Hall. But I think the organization and Sportsman should organize a package to get some TV games down there at Westport Park. But it will be wonderful, because the Montego be massive. They always come out. They always come out to support their team. Yeah, and I don't know, man. It's so grateful. When you see teams like Mount Pleasant is traveling with their away fans. Yeah, you saw even on Sunday, a few junglists made it down there. In Montego Bay to support Arnett Garden. You saw Treasure Beach whenever they played, that little TV game, either Sabina Park or not Sabina Park, Stadium East or over there in Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. Their fans always, it doesn't matter if it's 10, yeah, it's still a support, and it's great. Yeah, it's really great, man. It's really great. Trust me, it's really great. But um some disappointed results. Yes, some disappointed results, in that match day 18, with some teams. I was expecting to see a lot more. I was expecting to see a lot more from a few teams like Montego Bay. I was expecting to see, more aggressive in their gameplay. I was expecting to see a little bit better, from the team that won their first game last weekend. Lima, I was expecting to see a little bit more, from them in that game against Cavalier. I was disappointed in Molines also. Yeah, I was disappointed in Molines. I'm also disappointed, in Arnett Garden. Could have done a little bit better, in the end product. Arbor View, you know, could have managed the game a little bit better in a longer period. As at one time, they have the defending champion, and their back foot, pedaling, trying to survive in deep water. Yeah, but they didn't successfully do that. Throughout the whole games, they allowed Mount Pleasant to come back in deep to shallow water and to survive. Yeah, but again, man, I'm in love with this league. How can I express myself more and more, about this league, the Jamaican Premier League. I love this league. Yeah, I love this league so much, man. When I'm here discussing the Jamaican Premier League, it's always a joy for me. Yeah, it's always a joy for me, to be honest. You know, just to see players that I played with, during the time when I used to play, youth football in Jamaica, seeing younger players coming in now, see the league is getting more highlighting, towards the bigger picture. It's the league is broadcasting more and more, and it reaching different section of the world. So I'm just grateful, for all of that, was happening, in our Jamaican Premier League. As this league, if they continue to do what they said they're going to do, this league is going to get better and better as years come by. Yeah, it might creeping at the moment. Sometimes you have to like just as a baby, you have to like creep. You have to lay down on your back first, and then you start flip over, and then you start creep, and then you start to make 1 and 2 steps, and then from there, the baby start walk. Yeah, so our league is in that little transition, mood right now. Most people would love to see the league, gradually pick up over time, but you have to understand sometime, and the JMD dollars, Jamaica is not, I would say, a fanatic of the football. Yeah, we're not a like hardcore, supporters. Majority of Jamaicans support sports, only support their team that they love when they're doing really good. Yeah, saw what happened to the Jamaican Talawas. Not many support there, and then when you look all across in cricket, not many support, because the West Indies ain't playing good right now, and cricket overall in our country is just declining. So we only support things that is flourishing. So I hope when our league get up there, the ones that said that the league isn't growing, they can swallow all their words. Yeah, because this league is growing. This league is growing. Um, Still having a little issues, with the league and stuff like that. But I'm not really going to get there. But think better things can happen in certain direction, in how to grow the league. But saw the organization, yeah, talk about that new technology, that's supposed to implement in the league and all of that, AI cameras, get Y Scout, that big scouting system platform, so it's gradually getting better, and you can get more information on players, statistic, and how players are doing, get players heat maps. So when you look at the bigger picture, clubs and agents and technical directors, and coaches across the globe can actually just go on, Y Scout whenever it's available, and look on any Jamaican, players who is doing really well. Most of the, I would say, most of the non-traditional clubs, yeah, not talking about the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid and all these teams, but most of the non-traditional clubs, across the globe, who is not on a bigger, big budget, just where they can splash a 50, 100, or 200 million of players. They research and do their groundwork on players, and most of the teams use that platform, that the Y Scout platform, where the Jamaican Premier League going to merge with. So it's just going to get bigger. It's just going to get bigger. So I'm here to grow with it. Yeah, I'm here to talk about this league every day, every week, every minute. I wish I could talk about it even in my sleep and people hear me. But yeah, man, that's a love. That's a love I really have, for the Jamaican Premier League, man. I wish I can go to all 7 games, but it's not possible, as the games played at different times, yeah. But I wish I could watch all 7 games at one time, on the television. I'm just waiting for that day, and when the Jamaican Premier League going to be broadcasting 7 games. I don't know, it's 14 teams. Yeah, we already getting four TV games every week. two on Sunday, and two on Monday, yeah, and two on the app and two on the YouTube platform. So, and also, talking about televised, I saw that, probably about 5 games now or 4 games now, they have been doing it. Montego Bay, Montego Bay have using, the hub. I spoke about it, last match day, I think match day 17. Yeah, match day 17. I spoke about it that, via live, Montego Bay is actually using, this platform to broadcast their games, and it's really lovely. Yeah, it's really looking good. I'm going to pull it up again to show you guys. Yeah, so I was watching Arnett Garden game there, and the game have around, I think, around 30 people, watching the game one time. So yeah, it's grateful to see that, Mobile is actually, they found a system where they streaming their games. They're streaming their games whenever they don't get, televised games. So that is a different strategy of marketing your own players, marketing your own team. Yeah. This is, the hub. So they have the first game that they had this. They have the Dumbledore game. They have the Arborview game. They have the Lima game. They have the Veer game, and they had the Arnett Garden game. So that's 5. Yeah, that's 5. That's 5 games that they stream, and it's the qualities, of the audio. Everything is really, really good. Like, it's really good. Like, if you can, I don't know if you guys can see, but yeah, the quality is good, man. Watch back. I watched Iron game twice. Yeah, I didn't watch all of it when it was here at the time, 3:30 p.m. on Sunday, but I watched it again, last night. I watched it again last night, man. But yeah, love to see that. And also I watch around, probably the first half. I watch, and I'm going to watch it, when I finish this live. Yeah, I'm going to watch that Umberland game versus Tivoli. As Umberland, they also stream that game on their Instagram platform. So teams are finding different ways and different means, of streaming their games. So it's really good, for the product. It's really good for me, always doing review. So, and preview also. So it's much easier, So basically, the only game that I didn't saw, it was that Dumble Olin game, Dumble Olin versus Treasure Beach. That's the only game I didn't saw over the weekend. But I saw a goal. I saw a goal in that game, that Treasure Beach. I think it's Romaro Bryan, that overhead kick, that ball that he scored. Oh my word, that's a beautiful, overhead kick. Yeah, and talking about acrobatic kick, Justin Dunn, yeah, the marksman of the league, yeah, he scored a wonderful goal too, also on Umberland. Yeah, I don't know how he scored that goal. I don't know how he scored that goal, man, but he did it, and the ball went into the back of the net, and that's his 11th goal of the season. So, credit, man, credit to those two players. I would say it's probably, as I said, I didn't, saw Dumble holding goal, but look, that those two goals for me is easily, if you have a goals of the week for match day 18, those two goals would have been fighting to be on the top as that goal that Justin Dunn scored. Oh my word, yo! I initially saw the video and I only watched the goal once when I was watching, that clippings, Umberland and Tivoli, but earlier on in the afternoon, I think it was in the morning though. The man himself sent me the video, and I was looking at the goal, and I was like, "Whoa!" I really like got a clearer view on it, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like, only Zlatan Ibrahimovic I see scored goal like this. I never really can't remember seeing a goal score like that yet, but yeah, so big up to Justin Dunn himself, man. Big up to the Tivoli Garden players, yeah. And also big up the Treasure Beach player, Brian, who scored that overhead kick. Not Rafiki, but Mario Brian. But yeah, I have talked for 15 minutes now. Yeah. I'm going to jump in the review right now. But I must say, people, big up on yourself. Yeah, big up on yourself. Without can't be doing this. So keep consuming the good products that I give to you guys. So remember, don't forget to like the video and share it. And also, the main thing, if you're new, subscribe after you leave this video. Yeah. And remember to share the video with a friend. Yeah. Tell them about the Jamaican Premier League. Tell them that, big things is boiling up over here and the kind of media was about the Jamaican Premier League. As I try my best to present this in a different category, a different way, just as if you guys are watching a football game. Yeah. And also just make sure you guys take good care of yourself. And guess what? I'm jumping to the video right now. The first game that I'm going to start with, it's that big game. Yeah, it's the big game that didn't televise and the media platform Sportsmax, but I watched this game, the Montego Bay game and Arnett Garden. Oh, I have to say it again, man. Big up to Montego Bay fans. Yeah, they'll probably be getting averaging around 2,000 fans. Each time they play that home game down there, they're probably averaging around 2,000 fans, man. But it's a big thing. I love it. I love it. Look, that's one of the reasons Montego Bay is one of the best teams in the league when it comes on to home farm. Montego Bay, I think they haven't lost in around their last 5 home games, and this is actually Montego Bay. This is actually Montego Bay first 0-0 draw, playing at Westport Park. Montego Bay is a team, in the last 5 games, they average 2.6 goal a game. So they be scoring even when they're not getting maximum 3 points, they be scoring goals. Yeah, they be scoring goals. So, and their target is to get in that top 6. But I said it in the introduction, I'm disappointed in Montego Bay performance. Yeah, very, very disappointed in that game. I was expecting to see Montego Bay take up the game. They leave the ball with Arnett Garden too much in that game. I mean, you're playing at home. You have an impressive home farm. You have a massive crowd who is I don't know, man. Sometimes I don't have an experience of playing in the Jamaican Premier League, but having the fans going at you like that, I don't know how it feels, but sometimes that can be a little bit scary because the fans, they are saying stuff that they need the 3 points. I remember, I think it was Montego Bay number 16. I don't remember the player name, but they were actually screaming at Nadia dos Santos like, take off the man off of the feeling not good. And then right after, he run right down the left hand side and get a good cross in the box. And then guess what? The same people them that saying this player shouldn't be on the pitch, they actually applaud him like, yeah, good cross. And there's this one particular voice that I heard, especially in the first half. I don't know if the game that I was watching, the camera was right beside the person, but you can hear what the person was saying. But yeah, it must be hard sometimes, to be playing and these fans is saying a lot of stuff, even on the bigger stage. But yeah, I was saying that, Montego Bay, I'm disappointed, man. I'm disappointed in how they play that game, especially in that first 30, probably the first 45 minutes of the game. Very, very disappointed. One, Jordan Fletcher, I think he's probably the best player, on the pitch, to be honest. I mean, Jean Claudio, the Brazilian is excellent. But when you look at raw talent, Jordan Fletcher is one of those players for Montego Bay, and also one of the best left-footed player in the league, to be honest. He's very gifted, but I just love to see this player, work more on his craft and work more off the ball. Yeah, he tend to drop his head a lot, especially when the ball, get misplaced to him, or the ball didn't come to him when he wanted. You know, understand that, as a striker, you want the ball and ball to feet, but it's just not going to happen all the time. We are human. We're going to make mistakes. Yeah, Xavi, Iniesta, these players make mistakes. Carrick, Busquets, these a lot of pass calls. So who is you to judge a player that that you have to pass every ball, you know, direct at me at all time. But I think he even got substitution, and the fans wasn't having it. The player himself wasn't having it in the second half. Also Jean Ferreira, he didn't get on the ball, in that first half, particularly. You have to give Xavier, what's his name? Oh, I forgot. I ain't got the name. But yeah, Xavier, I don't know how I forgot, my coach name. That coach Arnett Gardman. But yeah, Xavier Gilbert. Yeah. So he probably, set a way of playing for Arnett Gardner, not to give him much time on the ball. As you know, he is the man that produced the goods in the midfield for Montego Bay. And I was a little bit disappointed on how the player was positioning, especially when he's looking for the ball. But as I said, Marlon, the CDM, Marlon Martin, he was a glue to the player, as you know that, this player is very vital to what Montego Bay do going forward. So, Gene, after the drifting, probably around 10 yards out of that center circle, just to get on the ball, just to get some playing time, just to get ball to feet, just to see if he can make something happen. He didn't get much position in the midfield, just like his fellow countryman, Lucas. Yeah, didn't get much time on the ball. And whenever Arnett is building up, especially in that first half, Montego Bay tend to do a semi-press. And when Arnett Gardner do beat those players, especially the front three, Gene, Turkleman, and actually Jordan Fletcher, the gap between where Lucas is at the CDM and the attacking third players in the attacking third for Montego Bay, the strikers, it was too much of a gap. So when the ball go wide, Arnett Gard have so much space, especially on the wing, to possess the ball and move the ball again. And Arnett Gard, and they just keep doing it. But Montego Bay coach didn't do much of trying to cut that down. Yeah. But we're going to move on, to the second half, but they miserable, feel in that first half in terms of dealing with Arnett Gardner. Arnett Gardner wasn't even playing that much, and at the tempo of Arnett Gardner, it was slow. I don't know if it because it's 3:30 game, the sun might be hot, but over the last probably a month ago, some cool weather is blowing across the island, especially down there, on the countryside. But it wasn't hot, but it's a little bit heat. But that shouldn't be any fault of Arnett Gardner playing at a slow tempo. Yeah, you could easily, if it was probably was a better team like a Cavalier or a Tivoli Garden, probably Arnett Gardner would have been some problems. But get to what I'm saying, Montego Bay should have attacked Arnett Gardner 100% on the front foot, especially an Arnett Gardner team that is coming off a big loss against their bitter rivals, Tivoli, after they took the double over them and, looking to bounce back. But they let Arnett, off the hook. But in the second half, no, they actually kind of played a little bit better. You could see that the team was actually, Montego Bay actually trying to play the ball a little bit more faster. And I think, not saying he's a bad player, but after Jordan Fletcher came off, the team actually started to play a little bit more fluid football. Yeah, the team actually looked to play more passes over the top, as Arnett Gardner was trying to squeeze in the Montego Bay team when they realized that the Mobile team is getting on the ball more and more. But it was just one of those games, in that second half where both teams just start to match out each other's. But Arnett Gardner got the better opportunities in the game. Half a chance from Marlon, Marlon Martin, where he shoot the ball, I think, around 20 yards out. Yeah, good save by William Ferreira. Also, there's this big chance down and the down on the right hand side, yeah. I think it was Kaim. I think it was Kaim. Yeah. If it wasn't Kaim, it was Rashid Kelson. But one of those players, they got a very good opportunity, and the ball hit the side net. And also there was like I would say more than I would say it's a chance, for Fabian. A man like Fabian, is excellent finishing in the Jamaican Premier League. He should have done a bit, better than that. But the keeper came out very quickly off him line, as William always do. Whenever ball come over and beat his team, he always, tend to get up off his line a little bit more faster. He's that type of goalkeeper where he played on the edge of always trying to play that sweeper keeper. But Fabian should have done more. Should have done more in that opportunity that he got. Also, Montego Bay got some opportunities too, but a bit distance from the goal. Asha didn't really have a whole lot of stuff to do, and again in the first half, man, Asha Hutchinson, all the fans, the Mobile fans, was like, yo, they kick the ball out for that shot, man, man. But kudos to Asha, man. He kept his composure, and he didn't pay what was happening to him, behind him down that side. But yeah, this is the first time, Arnett Garden is joined again, Nila since 2016 in the Premier League against Montego Bay in their home stadium. Yeah, these teams don't really, draw games 0-0 down there at Westport Park, man. But yeah, going to move on a little bit, spend a whole lot of time, in this Arnett Garden, Montego Bay, as if this is the only game that I'm reviewing. But understand I have a little bit of bias about Arnett Garden, as you know. This is, my team. But yeah, first time, these teams, is trying, not these teams, Montego Bay is trying a 0-0 game at Westport Park. Yeah, Arnett Garden is the first team to hold Montego Bay to a 0-0 draw. Yeah, no team have done that. Not saying I'm celebrating it, but it's always good to pick up a point on the road. We will deal with business as Arnett Garden have another big game. I'm very skeptical of Arnett Garden in away games. And I think this game I don't know where this game going to play as yet, but we will play Waterhouse, big game. So Arnett Garden is a little bit, their wings puncher right now on the road. So they hope they can fix things against Waterhouse, who going to come off a win. That's their farm. Win against the smaller teams, lose against the big teams. But yeah, next game, Cheddar Beach, the game that Romar Bryan scored an overhead kick. I wish I'd seen, that goal that Dumbo Olin scored. But Dumbo Olin, made a few signings, and very impressive signings. Niku Daly and former Arnett Garden player Marlon Hallen. Yeah, two very good strikers. Marlon Hallen scored 9, I think it was 9 goals last season for Arnett Garden. They're running to the quarterfinal of the Jamaican Premier League. Also, Cheddar Beach, very disappointed one before this, where they lost at Jackson against Limal, where they let Limal off the hook. But I must say, when I watch, this team against, Limal, and even previously, you can see it again. They took the lead against Dumble Olin, but they couldn't manage to hold on to the lead again. They just fold when it comes on to the last quarter of the game. They just plan to just give up a whole lot of points there throughout the whole season. Conceded a lot of late goals. So I think that's one of their downfall, in this team. But overall, though, they should have a fight. They should have a hunger, but they're going out, to be honest. There's no chance, to be honest. I'm not going to sit here and be biased about, Limal and Cheddar Beach have a chance. There's no chance, man. There's no chance for both teams to come back. It will be a miracle run for both teams to get up and get out of saddle and try to get out of the relegation zone. It's just too easy for teams like, Arborview, who's on a poor run, Mullines, who is on a poor run also. Yeah, just easy for those teams who is down there with them to be playing football, knowing that Limal or Cheddar Beach, they're going to draw or they're going to lose, especially Lima. So, not much, not much in this game. Yeah. But the first time, this is the first time Dumbo Olin have given up a goal and actually draw the game. Usually Dumbo Olin's a team, playing whenever they schedule to play at home as the home team. Doesn't matter if they play that Dumbo Olin sports complex or they played the TV games at not Sabana, at Stadium East or Anet Stadium. This is the first time they have gave up a 1-0 lead and go on to drop points. So, a little bit there about Dumble Holding. So yeah, we're going to move on to Umberland. Yeah, Umberland was watching, bits and bits of this game, back on the replay and Umberland Instagram reels. Yeah, the game is still there. As I said, I'm going to go back to watch the game. But after Tivoli Gardens coming off a big win over Arnett Garden. Yeah, big win. I don't know how they've done it, but not many people had Tivoli Garden to beat Arnett Garden twice in the season. I said, the last time that happened was 2016, 2017 when Jeremy won the league for Arnett Garden. But yeah, Umberland, man, what is going on down there, Effortville? Not much is going on there whenever Umberland is playing at home. Yeah, I can see that, the Umberland fans, they have a wonderful time last season watching their team playing at Effortville, but it's not so perfect. It's way far from being perfect for Umberland at home. As Umberland, I said in the other sorry, I said in the other review of match day 17 that, there's only one team that beat Umberland. Let's have a little glass of orange juice. Yeah, so I was saying, Umberland, yeah, Arborview was the only team to beat them last season at Effortville Community Center. Or Arborview is the only team that beat them last season. But this season, at Effortville, they have already lost 3 games. And I said it. Yeah, I said it in my preview that if Umberland want to give themselves a shot towards the top 6, they're going to have to go on and start to pick up points from now on until the end of the season, especially playing at home. Andrew Price made it a fortress last season that, this team going to have a very good run of form at home. But, things take a toll. It's happening in football where, coach sometimes, a lot of things happen. You lost the dressing room. The players are not following, your tactics anymore. Teams, watch video clips of your team, how they set up. A lot of stuff can happen, man. Administration problems. So it's not just down to sometimes players, better players leaving a football club. But I must say, it's a devastated time right now for the team down there at Effortville Community Centers. Vassarinas is trying his best. He's trying his best. I remember that game, man, that Umberland played. It was a game at Stadium East where they played Moulins. And Moulins was leading, 3-0 in the first half of the game. And Umberland came back and scored 2 goals. But, they didn't got that equalizer. They got the opportunity, but they didn't took it. And as soon as the whistle blew, Vassarinas walked straight down to the tunnel at Stadium East. So no interview, no showed up, nothing. Yeah, it was just Jeremy and Thomas who gave his post-match interview, man. But, it's just one of those things. You see the best of the best coaches, do stuff like that when their team don't get the positive results that they're looking for, But, this is Umberland, as I said, their 3rd game. But where they should go, because when you really look at the team, when you really look at Umberland team, it's a mix. It's mostly players that you would say French players. Yeah, French players. If you add these crop of players and try to put them into other teams, say you probably want to take Umberland best 5 players in that squad to put in which team I can use? I probably can use Veer. That's their rival, Clarendon. I could probably use Veer. Say you take Umberland, some of Umberland best players, probably five. Probably, I don't think Umberland really have so much quality players. You know, to be honest, I don't think they have so much quality players. But say the only player that can come on top of my head right now who can walk in any other JPL team that's had really good quality is a veteran of the league, and it's Andrew Vanzi, the captain. Yeah, he was one of the not he's one of he's still one of the best, are probably the best CDM in the league, alongside Ramon Owell, Marlon Martin, who else? Joshua Anglin, if not really a CDM, but you know what I mean, can play in that olden era. Yeah, so not many players really can walk in, especially when you look at a VR team, a team that's have, Lamar Neal, I think his name Javier Brown, the captain, and so there's another young player. I think it's O. If it's I think it's O. Yeah, the player named Ho, the young player. Yeah. So not many players, not many teams, will take these players, but they're going to need a surgery. They're going to need a surgery, and this is one of the teams that lucky that we don't have some hard core team in that relegation zone that is picking up points on a regular basis. Else Umberland would have been in trouble right now because their farm is some relegation farm. Yeah, but big up to the man himself, who scored on the day, Justin Dunn. That's his 11th of the season. Hopefully I can see this player go on and get 20 goals. I'd love to see a young player go on to get 20 goals in the Premier League, as it will be massive. It'll be massive for him. Really be good. But I have a stats with Justin Dunn, and I also shared it with him. Yeah, so Justin Dunn scored previously in the previous game against Arnett Garden, that penalty kick, I think, to bring the game 2-1. So back-to-back game scoring, yeah. Scored in the Arnett game last Monday. He scored on Sunday against Umberland at Effortville. And he have only done this twice. He have only scored back-to-back in the league twice. And guess what? It is so coincident that he have done it twice and he have done it against the same teams. So when he scored a hat-trick on Arnett Garden, at Anthony Spalding Sports Complex, he went on to score again and Tivoli beat Umberland 4-1. So the two games that he scored in back-to-back in the league, it's actually the same team. So that's a little stats right there for Justin Dunn. Yeah. Did I have anything? I think I have one more. Yeah, so this is Tivoli. This is Tivoli ones. Tivoli, yeah. So the second time winning at someone home field with a clean sheet. So this is the second time they have been doing this, winning a game on the road, that clean sheet. So Tivoli don't really keep a lot of clean sheets. That's what I noticed. They don't really keep a lot of clean sheets, but see if they can manage. But Tivoli don't have a long winning streak in the league, like Portmore or Cavalier have a long winning streak or unbeaten streak. Tivoli tend to sometimes go on a 6-7 game run without a defeat, and then boom, suddenly they just lost a game. Just like they're on a really good run of form. Yeah, when just before you see the game that they played against Montego Bay at Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. Before that game, Tivoli, the last game that Tivoli won last was the game that they lost at Stadium East against Mount Pleasant, a 1-0 victory when Kimone Bailey scored that header. Yeah, that late goal. That's it. So that was the only time they lost that game, and then move on. Montego Bay, just like that, the last 3 points. But now they're on a little run again. But yeah, Tivoli is one of those teams. Top 5 teams are really setting up right now. The league really good. Arnett, Cavalier, Arnett, Mount Pleasant, Cavalier, and Tivoli, and I wouldn't say Waterhouse, but yeah, those five teams is really setting up the Premier League with a really good. I would say not really a title charge, but to come in that first spot. As you know, it's not big like in when you look over the world when teams come first, it's a big thing. So we go to the playoff system, yeah. But we're going to move on. We're going to move on to Cavalier versus Lime, the game that I predict to finish 1-0 to Cavalier, yeah. I predict in my preview that Cavalier is going to win this game 1-0. Why I think I said Cavalier is going to win 1-0. One, the last two games before this they have won 1-0, 1-0. The previous game, the head-to-head between Limal and Cavalier when they played down there at Jacksal, the game finished 1-1. Yeah, and Cavalier is a very good counter-attacking team. Cavalier do a lot of damage to teams whenever teams is playing Cavalier in a high press, as Ian Zerd, they have Jalmaro Calvin. He also scored, in this 4-0 victory, against Lima. Yeah, I think Atkinson doing Atkinson, man called busy. Yeah, they have players like this can snap your team in a flash, just as your Queen Cavalier scored. And the prime example, the game that they beat Arnett God at on the cricket field, Sabina Park. So don't ramp with this Cavalier team when it comes on to transition and breakdown team in a quick counter-attacking game. So knowing that, Lima, especially coming off a big win, I wasn't expect to see Lima drop that deep. Yeah, they dropped way deep, and I was expecting to see them just express themselves a little bit more, feeling a little bit more happy knowing that you're coming off a back of a win over your relegation rivals and coming into the team that's leading the league, the meanest defensive line in the league, 9 goals? I think Cavalier last three games is our last 4 games are shutout. Yeah, even when they drew that game against Tivoli, yeah, the only game that they drew in the last 4, it was a shutout against Tivoli, a 0-0 draw. So, yeah, Cavalier last couple of games, go back to when Cavaliers played, let's tell you which game, that when they played Umberland. Yeah, that was the last time Cavalier actually conceded in the league. That was January the 10th. That was January the 10th, the last time they conceded. So knowing that, I knew that, it's going to be a tough game, coming into this game for Limal. But Limal have hired a new coach. I don't know if they're looking for hope, but the coach name is Upton Gilchrist, man. Limal hire a coach as his name is Hope. They're looking for hope. You better go on TV, go try and join the program named Ray of Hope. Yeah, looking for some help. But man, them hire a coach man named Upton Gilchrist. I think this is about 3. They have 1, 2. I think this is around 4 coach. I've coached Limal in 1 season. Yeah, this they had around 4 coaches, man. But big up to Limal, man. Big up to Limal for still showing up, still playing, at the highest level in Jamaican football, man. Yeah. But there's some like I would say some clueless defending from Limal. That first goal, Jalmara Calvin scored. That ball that came from the right-hand side, that crosses into the box. He went between 2 Limal defenders plus the keeper. The ball went that close. I think it go around 3 yards away from the goal line. The keeper should be doing better than that. And also, the defenders, they ball watching. No one knew that John Mara Calvin was going to make that run. But as a defenders, you have to be on the front foot. You have to be on the guard that, hey, this ball coming at the front post, it should be a Lima defenders who get the first touch on the ball, and they didn't manage to clear it, and the player slapped in the ball in the back of the net. Also, the second goal, the second goal, when they go in, the second goal, when they going down, they're kicking down to Carly Smith Drive side and Arnett Field. Irving, he made a simple dribble down that right hand side and just cut in, and the ball beat the keeper at the far post. I don't know how that ball scored, but the ball slightly dipped in front of the goalkeeper, but he should be doing way better than that. But the defender who is marking, the Cavalier player, Irving, you should be doing also better than that too. So it's like, some prep school defending of what I saw Lima did, in that game against Cavalier. So if you're going to defend like that, oh, the hell, you're going to keep a clean sheet. Yeah, oh, you're going to keep a clean sheet. They only kept 3 clean sheets. They only kept 3 clean sheets of the season. The game that they played previously, they drew against Mullines and they drew against Montego Bay. So those games, are the only games that they didn't concede, but they just, unfortunately, those teams didn't take their opportunities. Yeah. And also I think there's another goal, the defenders actually looking at the player kicking the ball. Yeah, I think it was a 4th goal. Yeah, but schoolboy defending, man, from Lima. Yeah. But I have one for Cavalier, another stats. Yeah. So this season, Tivoli Garden is the only team to take points off Cavalier in 2 rounds. As you know, both teams played two times already. As you know, Cavalier played 5. They played 5 of the teams, already in that return match. First round and second round, first phase and first phase. Yeah. So Cavalier is Tivoli is the only team to maximize and get points off Cavalier. So nobody have done it so far. So let's see, if the rest of teams that Cavalier, beat or drew in the past, they're going to get maximum points or get something off them. But yeah, Tivoli is the only team to gather points off Cavalier in those 2 games that they played. 2 games, those 2 games drew. So that's those 2 games is always a little battle, especially Jerome Wade. Yeah, especially Jerome Wade versus Rudolph Speed. Always a competitive battle, man, between the 2 of them. But yeah, big up Ishmael, thanks for passing through, man, and big up also Mr. Smith. Yeah. Another game. I was watching Portmore versus Mullines. I think this is some poor refereeing decision in this game. I think Mullines should have gotten probably at least 2 penalties in the game. Yeah. Jason Wright got the one in the 95th, 96th minute to equalize for Mullines, last kick of the game. But clearly you could see that Portmore players got those Mullines players in the box. But the referee said, play on. This is why we need VAR in the league. Yeah, we need VAR in the league. So some of these calls, can be called over and given the teams, who's supposed to get the penalty. But Portmore, man, I'm disappointed in Portmore, also, especially a team, don't write off Mullines. They're playing really good. They one of the informed team, with a new coach in the league that's actually really playing really good football. 2 banks of 4 and 2 man up front really doing the job for them. This is the second time in a row Mullines have took the lead over the opposition and gave up not maximum, but dropped 2 points. They did it last weekend, against Mount Pleasant away at Jacksal, and they have done it again against one of the better teams. So they've done it twice to the teams that in the top 3 in the league. So you could see that this is a team is finding their way, and I don't know if they really can make a late push. I don't know, but if you are Mullines fans, yeah, these are the games that you want to win to get these extra points. I know that going into these games before the ball kick, Mullines fans are the players, are the coach. If you said, okay, you're going to get a point at Jackson, you would take it. And if you said playing and playing on Sunday against Portmore at Anthony Sparling Sports Complex, before the game kick, you're going to get a point. You will take it. Hell yeah, you will take that point. But guess what? They got the goals. They got the go away goals, but they just couldn't manage and hold on to those. It's just lack of focus, lack of concentration in the last spells. As you know, Portmore scored 2 goals quick time, and that kind of hit the win out of Moulins, as it took them some time before they got the wheels running again. But in the first 20-30 minutes, it was Moulins. It was Moulins, having the fair amount of chances, having the fair amount of ball possession. They playing relaxing football. Yeah, the player that the player named Brown in the middle of the pitch. I think he wear the 22, and um and Nelson. Yeah, they were playing really good. I was watching both of them, and each time, if Nelson drift outside of the middle of the park and drift on to the wing, the player will only be around 5 to 10 yards behind his midfield partner. As you know, both of them, were playing double pivot in that 4-4-2. And that's all, you usually want to see both players in that double pivot play. They don't want one player on the right and the ball is on the right. When you look, you lose the ball. The nether man that's supposed to be playing double pivot is get caught out walking on the left, on the other side, as the midfield will be open. But this is why you cannot get through this Moulins midfield, as they're playing with a real strong chemistry. They knew what to expect. They knew what the coach is want to get from them, and the coach is getting the best out of his players. I mean, Alex Thomas, man. Alex is a former player of my club. Respect him, wanting to do well at Arnett, but I just think it was just time to move on. I was thinking it's just time to move on, man. But here comes the new coach, setting a better standard, yeah, and players are maximizing their full potential, out of Jeremy and Thomas tactics moving forward. Yeah, so let's see. So Moulins right now is on 16 points. They in 12. They 8 points above Treasure Beach, who is in 13th position. Yeah, they only last 8 games. Only last 8 games. And that's the difference between last season and this season. So last season they had, Nelson, who is playing for Dunderolin right now. I don't remember. I just getting, the brothers them first name mix up. Yeah, but I think it's Nicholas Nelson. Nicholas Nelson, who is at Dunderolin. His brother is at, Moulins, Jeremy. Nicholas was at the club last season for Moulins, and he scored 7 goals in that farm. 7 goals. And Jason Wright, I think he's on 7 goals right now. He scored double digits last season. He scored, I think, 14 goals. He's at 14 or 15 goals last season. Yeah, so he actually had players that's really, backing him up in that goal scoring. And then, their winger, Livingston, actually, he scored 3 goals. So just the combine of the top 3 man for Moulins last season actually scoring goals, but you don't really find a lot of players scoring goals this season outside of, Jason Wright for Moulins. And I'm trying to find the next player who is behind. Hardy is the player that who's behind Jason Wright at Moulins and 3 goals. So that's not good enough. That's not good enough. Jason Wright is on 7 goals. He's on 7 goals. So he's right there. He's in 6. He joined with his former partner in crime, Nicholas Nelson, 7-7. And Nicholas Nelson, talking of him, he was the one that actually got the goal, the equalizer goal at at his home field against Treasure Beach. So he was on like a 5 games drought. He was on a 5 game drought. The last time that he scored, I think it was against Dumble Olin where he scored a brace. So not good enough either. A lot of teams, searching for a clinical striker in the Jamaican Premier League. A lot of teams, yeah. Treasure Beach, Lima, Humble Lion, is finding, trying to find a real goal scorer who can give them, double digits in the league. It's very hard for those teams to get, players who can give them that goal and that little security of knowing that you probably might score a goal, in every game that you played. So the game next up, move on from Mullines, yeah? Move on from Mullines, going to talk about Fear. But yeah, Portmore, they fell down the pecking order, one place down as Tivoli jumped ahead of them. Portmore's on 36 in fourth position, just 2 points above the fifth spot, who is Arnett Garden, 34 points. Yeah, so the league top five, as I said, is getting more and more together. It's getting more and more compact away from that top six. The team that's fifth, Arnett Garden, is Arnett Garden is 8 points away from that sixth spot. So, it's all about 6 spots, 7, 8, 9, and probably can say 10 because Veer is still there. Veer and Arborview is joined on 19 points. Both teams, are 7 points away from top six. Don't write out, especially Arborview. Do not write them out because still a good team, still have a good squad. Still somewhat have a really good manager, Ludlow Bernard, a player that used to play in the league, assistant coach Sean Fraser, so a decent coaching staff, can lead them, but still need a bit more consistent to get up in that top six as they won the league a few seasons back, yeah, Stars of the East. But yeah, Veer, they have lost again. I don't know how many times, man. I'm going to keep saying Veer having won a game since the new year, man. Since the start of the year, man, Veer is struggling. Big time. Veer is struggling in the Premier League. Yeah? Can't see why, but I just feel like sometimes Vasarenas is kind of stubborn. I just feel like he's kind of stubborn in how he sets up Veer team to be playing. Not Vasarenas. My bad. Not Vasarenas. Linval, Rudy Dixon. I don't know how, sometimes I think he's a little bit stubborn in his gameplay and how he sets his starting 11 out. Look, let's calm down. But yeah, Mobile can make the playoff. Mobile is one of those teams that, have one of the best home record in the league. Yeah, have one of the best home record in the league. So they won. Tell you how much games Mobile won at home. Joel Smith. They won 4 games at home. Yeah. They drew 3 and lost 3. I know one of those games are Mount Pleasant game that they lost at home. A game that they should have won. Yeah, a game that I think they lost at home against Portmore. But since you said that about Mobile, I tell you, the games that Mobile played at home recently. So they drew against Arnett Garden. They beat Veer in their last home game before Arnett Garden. They also drew at Catchinall against Waterhouse. Yeah, and they beat Lima at home. And they drew with Arborview, a game that they should have won 2-2. The other game that they lost, it was against Dumble Olin. Yeah, the game against Dumble Olin. So could see that, some difficult games that they played at home, but some games that they should have won also. Yeah, so that was a little quick synopsis of Montego Bay home farm this season. But yeah, what I was going to, I remember what I was going to. But yeah, so I was talking about Linval Dixon about, setting up his team, especially, his top marksman, Kemar Bushy Beckford, who been scoring since he came, but just cannot find the back of the net. He just cannot find the back of the net. He's scoreless in 5 games now. He's scoreless in 5 games. So clearly, he's the only one for Villa right now can put the ball in the back of the net. They brought in DeAndre Thomas, the ex Dublin player, in the January transfer window, but it's not getting the playing time that he expected to be getting. Probably over time, next games or so, expecting Linval Dixon to change up something. And I have a proposal for Linval Rudy Dixon. So you have players like Lamar Neal in the midfield. As I said, you have the young teenager Howe in the midfield. You have the captain, I think his name Javier Brown. Javier Brown. You have three good midfielders, yeah, and also another young player on the wing, Cohen. He's a really good player. Yeah, he's a very good player. And I just feel like, the coach is not setting up the players right to get the best out of them. Sometimes as a coach, you just can't be hard-headed. You just can't be stuck in your own ways of how you want the team to play. Sometimes look at a manager like Carlo Ancelotti. This is not the way Carlo Ancelotti manage teams doing his job right now at Real Madrid. But according to Real Madrid squad, there is no natural out and out, like not veteran, but there's natural no out and out number 9 that who is world class in the team. Only number 9 that they have in the team that can do a job there is Oselu. And he's not a Real Madrid type of striker. It's not the caliber of a Galactico, as Real Madrid been known to having the best of the best strikers in the world. Michael Owen, R9, Luis Figo, Stefan, players, Stefan Santio, and all these players, man. But again, I just feel like change that 4-3-3 system, yeah. Play, you can play. If you don't want to move the 4-3-3, you can still use the 4-3-3. But you're going to have the same midfield players, but you're going to take one player out. I think his name is Javon Smith, and you can bring in, DeAndre Thomas, put him in that number 9 position, and play Bushy Beckford on that left wing, as when Bushy Beckford was playing, especially at Waterhouse, when Waterhouse was running. Waterhouse was a really good team, and at his days at Mount Pleasant before he left the country, he wasn't playing like an ideal position on the pitch. He was a player that drifting off the left wing, sometimes playing in that number 10 role, sometimes played as a false 9. Yeah, and when I watch VRT for the last couple games now that they got the TV games, Kamara Beckford is just there by himself. And when you look at the rest of the 9 players, except the goalkeeper, when you look at the rest of 9 players, they are like 20 yards away from him. So when he get the ball, remember, he's not a big player. He's not a big player. He's a small player, probably 5'7", 5'6". He's not the greatest of holding up the ball, especially with his back to goal. He's a player that wants to get the ball, facing his opponent, running at defenders, and drop into those little pockets between, the CDM of the opposition team and the center half, and try to disturb, that little tactics there that the team always set up. God, that's one of the vital. That's like the spine in our team when you try to disrupt that little number 6 area right there, the number 8, and the defensive line, this both center back. If you can get those players reshuffling every time when you attack, you're likely to score. And time and time, Cameron Beckford would play up there by himself. So every time when they made a substitution, it's like a breath of fresh air for him. Like, for instance, they brought on a player named Lewin. Yeah, they brought on Lewin. They brought on Lewin yesterday. Lewin got around 6 minutes before time added on. And who knew their team well, you know that this player is a very fast, fast player. He's very quick. Look, not the best of like moving at the ball 1v1 consistently going at defenders, but when there's a player that who blessed with pace coming up against tired, I think he was coming up against, I think it was Boot. He was coming up against Boot, the Waterhouse right back. If it wasn't Boot, it was Blair. Dallas was playing in the midfield, but he was coming up against. It was Boot coming from that right back position, and Lewin came on, and he came on to play on the left hand side, but he was all over the pitch because the ball wasn't coming out on the left hand side for him, and the few times the player got the ball, he changed the game completely. You could see that Waterhouse back four, 10 to back off 5 yards than where they were at in just before he came on. Because they were pressing Veer in the midfield. They were waiting for Veer to come in their own midfield, and then they will press Veer. They will allow Veer to build up. And then when they come in their own half, they would start to press them. But when Lewin came on, I saw a Waterhouse team. I saw a Waterhouse defender, the wing back, especially the right back. I mean, both Blair and Booth, they look timid because this player is blessed with pace. Even the young kid, Cohen, he created an opportunity to beat Booth and, down that left-hand side. He was doing it. But, the team just not setting up tactically to support their talisman, Kemar Bushy Beckford. And, Rudy Dixon, man, as a man, man, where, used to play the sportsman, come on, man, you should be doing better than that, man. Do better than that, man. You should be doing your homework. You should be probably watching back your games. Probably you're doing, but I don't know what you're looking at. Yeah, I don't know what you're looking at. So, poor substitution yesterday from him, took too long to make changes, and he waited too long to make a reaction in terms of changing up the team. You cannot wait until the team go in the dressing room or you're going to make a change. You're supposed to can make a change, from the touchline towards the players on the pitch at any given time. At any given time. It's not like you guys are playing in front of 20,000 fans, who is making a lot of noise where you can't lay out a proper instruction. The complex, it wasn't full. The complex wasn't full. So, yeah, I think, man, Veer just gave up that one because Waterhouse, is coming off a back of a defeat against Tivoli Garden, where the game that they lost at home at Jerusalem. So Waterhouse, another team, is not really playing good. And, so that's my little proposal there, change up something. But I would take out, the player named Smith out of that lineup that they put in the starting lineup yesterday, and put in DeAndre Thomas. And also will keep Lewin on the bench and play those two youngsters, and Cohen, as they are really good midfielders playing, with Lamar Neal as Lamar Neal and Lamar. Because I was watching this game real keen because I want Veer, to do well so they can get off the mark the start of the year, So Lamar Neal and the captain Brown, these players boss the middle for Veer on the night. Waterhouse didn't. I don't know. This is one of the worst midfield I have seen. Waterhouse played. The mixed field game that they played from the season start, and I'm watching them on TV. This is the worst game I've seen. Jebinson, DeAndre Thomas. Who else played in midfield? I remember who else. I know Jebinson, DeAndre Thomas, and Dallas played in the midfield. This is the worst I've seen that midfield. Kemar Foster, yes, he made a few saves, and talking about Mr. Foster, Lewin, that chance, that opportunity that he got I don't know, I think it was Blair, the left back who kind of stopped the ball and run past ball, and the player, the Veer player just run on and kick and with a snapshot, and luckily Kemar Foster was on his toes, to stop that ball. But yeah, man, he saved them yesterday, man. He made around 3 to 4 brilliant saves yesterday, from Veer. But Veer should have at least get a point at least get a point out of that game, but they control the game really good. Brown and Lamar Neal just coming back off, off injury. He's a ex Arnett Garden player. Love to support, the Arnett Garden players wherever they go. But yeah, the midfield battle man between Lamar Neal and and Brown and then Gibbinson and DeAndre Thomas, it was one to watch as the Veer midfielder won the battle yesterday, but didn't got the 3 points. But yeah, that's Waterhouse farm right there. Lose against one of the top 4 teams and then win against one of the bottom 6 teams. So that's Marcel Fuzzy farm right there for Waterhouse. Not playing good, man. Not playing good, but let's see if they can hold off that top 6, Let's see if they can hold off that top 6 because teams are coming. And I'm telling you, Montego Bay, just give them probably a couple more games. They're going to win a few more matches. And Waterhouse going to see themselves outside of that top 6 if they manage to give their same farm on and on and on. I think it's about 7 games left, before the playoffs start. So it's getting tighter. It's getting more excited. Yeah, it's getting really excited. And Waterhouse was lucky, Dumbo Olin and those teams are not really playing good. Those teams are not picking up points consecutively on a regular basis. But I want to talk, Javian Bryan, the Waterhouse striker. He missed some sitter. Yeah, he missed some sitter just before the goal scored. Yeah, he was the one that got that opportunity in the 6-yard box, but he kicked it back on the keeper and it came back out. 8 games left. Yeah, so he said 8 games left. So yeah, it's getting tired. But Javian Bryan, man, the man that scored 10 goals of the season so far for Waterhouse, not going to knock this player hard, as this is his first ever, this is first ever team in the top flight division, as you know. But he is like Darwin Núñez for me. He scored some of the difficult and the hardest goals, but the simplest one, he missed them. I don't know how, strikers does that sometimes. Like you get the hardest goals, but you tend to score those goals. But the easiest goals, you tend to just miss those goals. I don't know, man, but he should have been probably around out of Shaquille Bradford, who is on 10 goals, and Justin Dunn and him himself. Those 3 guys round off the top 3, of the leading goal scorers in the Jamaican Premier League. Out of all the players, he's the one that missed the most opportunities per game, man. But he scored some wonderful goal. Yeah, he scored some wonderful goal. Don't get me wrong. When he just started to score, yeah, he scored some beautiful goals. Can't knock him, but you need to score those goals. As when you have to look at it sometimes, a Waterhouse team, their last five fixtures: win, lose, win, draw, lose. Not consistent enough. It's not prolific as a team like Waterhouse, But as a striker, you must look at, okay, my team is struggling to hold on to victories. Yeah, my team is struggling to score. You have to make sure that you get those balls in the back of the net, But he's going to come good, man. And if Waterhouse is playing at their best, Javian Bryan will get chance. As this Waterhouse team is not creating nothing from the midfield. As Nikai Christian is I don't know what is going on, if he's injured or what, but Nikai Christian haven't been playing for some time now. So Waterhouse is not creating. When Waterhouse just started out the league, in October, going in, especially in November, everything Waterhouse done moving forward, Nikai Christian is a part of it. Yeah, and I just feel like during those times, he was a spearheaded in the midfield that, get Andre Fletcher, get Denard Thomas, get Thomas, get Denard Thomas. There's another player. get Gibbons, get all those players in as one and link up, make the passes. But there was a little downside with him, with playing with Nikai also, especially playing with younger players. But the positive was he used to get all the players in. And if I was a coach, I would probably work with that rather than looking at his looking at his what he can't do as a player. Yeah, he's not the best of the best mobile player in around that midfield. Players tend to run around him a lot in the midfield, but when you have the ball at his foot, that's where you want your creative midfielder to be in the opponent defensive third, attacking in the throat of a defensive line and making the last final passes. And during the first round of the Premier League, he assists Javier Bryan 3 goals. Yeah, so the man himself is struggling for goals. It's a lot of scraps he's been fighting, for the Waterhouse strikers. But I'm going to move on from the Firehouse. Yeah, Firehouse. Going to talk about the game that played last night, the Rough House game. Yeah, big game. Harbourview versus Mount Pleasant, man. I was expecting Stars of the East, to get something out of the game, but started the game really well. Yeah, got that goal. Got that goal from, their creative midfielder, Demar Rose. Played an excellent first half. Seems like the team run out of steam in the second half. But when you look at how Harbourview team played in the first 50 minutes, you don't win game in the first quarter of a game, but if you can mark them down on that first 15 minutes that they played against Mount Pleasant, they played really good when you look at it. This is a team I'm expecting Ludlow Bernard. That's the way I expect Ludlow Bernard team to be playing. And him himself, said it. Team started the game really well. You started to see a flash. You started to see a flashes of how Harbourview team can play. I might be over the couple of reviews that I've been doing, I might be making jokes of Harbourview, but I know that this team is a quality team. Have quality players. Yeah, have players that can play at high level, any team in the JPL, but it's just that right now they're playing below standard. But that first 15 minutes that, I saw Harbourview play yesterday in that game, Mount Pleasant team looked worried. And you could see that the midfield, that's where Harbourview is strong. That's where they win the battles. That's where they're more aggressive. The likes of Demar Rose, Joshua Anglin and Kaim Priestley is running in the midfield. That's the first time in a long time I haven't seen Priestley, put in a real defensive shift. He's very mobile going forward, very good at the with the ball at his feet, can hit those long 50-yard diagonal passes. But when it comes down to team, in the transition back to him, he's not the best of that. But I seen him put in a shift yesterday, and I have to applaud the player for that. You could see that the players are working hard to get out of this miserable run of farms. Yeah, won the last game, 4-2, scored some goals, but just couldn't manage to get the ball in the back of the net more than one time in that game last night. And I must say, it's the level of concentration for Harbourview for me is getting the better of them. As look, Breaker, which is a defender, Breaking Bridge, not the best of the best in the league, but a very good player. Yeah, I say a very good player. It's not one of those elite defenders. That's when you see Breaker, it's like, whoa. But yeah, he can do a good job. Saw them won the league a few years back, yeah. So he can do a good job. The skipper, Harding, really good wing back, can do a really good job. I think he's the better of that back four out of all of them. Yeah. Talbot himself is finding himself on the bench for the last couple of games now. So you could see that the team is actually kind of changed up a little bit. Demaros wasn't starting. You know, they used to start the kid that with the Nigerian name Chukwueze. He used to start, as I think he's a very good player, but I just feel like, you know, a man like Demaros who know the league, you know, who played schoolboy level in Jamaica, know most of the players playing in the Jamaican Premier League now. You know exactly what you're going to expect from a player like, you know, Romeo Godfrey, a player like I forgot his name from Mount Pleasant, the number 10, yeah. Forgot his name, man. My head is running, yeah. But you could see that, you know, he's a player that's going to know what to get exactly from those players. So playing Demaro's first time I've seen him getting a start on a TV game, yeah, he played really good. And you could see that his link-up plays and with Joshua Anglin and Kaim Priestley, you could see that it's better than when Ajuma Johnson was playing. Ajuma Johnson obviously is injured right now, but really good player. Now I'm not going to knock Ajuma, but I just feel like he didn't settle in well. You know, when you want players to be playing really good, especially with Josh, because I feel like Joshua is the player, you know. Joshua is the player for Aberview in that midfield. If you get Rooney going, your midfield more likely will win the battle and will go on to have a close game, even try to win the game. As you see, this is his back-to-back games that he have played the best since the season started. So you see that it's a player that is growing. I knew that, you know, you have some temper problem, and I think the referee kind of managed that game a little bit not to send off any players because the temperature in the game yesterday, it was probably around 150 degrees Fahrenheit. It was so hot, you know, both teams, players was just flashing hands in each other's face, you know. But kudos to the referee, you know, didn't send off anyone, let the game played fluently. But Mount Pleasant, you know, Mount Pleasant, I come back to Aberview attacking players, but Mount Pleasant midfielders, yeah, the Trini, you know, the Trini and Godfrey. Can somebody remember Mount Pleasant number 10? I forgot his name. I don't remember his name, man. Oh my god, I forgot his name. Sharp, man. I don't remember his name, but I want to call him by his name. Forgot his name. How am I forgot his name? My head is running. See if I can find a player name. I don't remember his name. I don't know how, but Phillips. Yeah, man. Demara Phillips. So Demara Phillips and Romeo Godfrey playing that double pivot yesterday in, I would say, probably say that it's a look like a 4-4-2, 4-3-3. You could say that, you know, the Trini player Natty was actually playing above, you know, Romeo Godfrey and Demara Phillips, yeah. But Tapper, as a man who play the sports, yeah, as a man is a midfielder, where you got that decision from to play Demara Phillips deeper midfield? Look, Phillips is a very good midfielder. He's one of the best in the league, but not when he's playing in a number 6 position. Not when he's playing so deep. As every time when Mount Pleasant is playing out the ball, the first midfielder who is front of the ball is Demara Phillips. It just not going to work. It's just not going to work. And I've seen it, you know, for some time now. I've been watching and I just staying like this now. And look, I'm just looking like, okay, he didn't start out playing that position. He was started out playing in the number 8 box to box, but for most of this game, especially the Mullines game, playing that little number 6, Demara Phillips is not the best of picking out passes 50 yards. He's not the best. Demara Phillips is a very intelligent player that can find himself into some small cubes, some smaller cube spots, you know, where defenders and midfielders think about where to go. If you're going to go there to mark a player, you're like, okay, I'm going to mark him, but I'm going to leave spaces behind for players to run in. that's the intelligence of Demario Phillips. He's a player like that. He's a creative player like that. And last season, when you look at him, he was mostly playing like a winger, but he played like a little inverted winger, and sometimes playing in that number 10 where you have the license to go everywhere. When you play Demario Phillips and Romeo, especially with a Romeo Guthrie who isn't a CDM himself, who love to go forward, how Demario Phillips going to have the license to do whatever he wants? Demario Phillips is the most creative player in Mount Pleasant team. You just cannot have him playing in that position. And if I was a Mount Pleasant fan, I would be feeling sad watching my best creative influence player playing in a number 6 position. And he is the most mobile player in this Mount Pleasant team. Except Devante Campbell, who blessed with pace, but I'm talking about like in a creative aspect of in the midfield. They don't have much mobile players, as Rankin is slow. Guthrie is not the best with pace. Ramon Owell, who wasn't in that squad yesterday, he's not the blessed with pace either. So, Demar is one of those players that, really quick around the grounds in that midfield where, he can get anywhere you want to go. So you have to play him up in that attacking third. And I just feel like time and time when Mount Pleasant is playing a big teams, just like a teams like Cavalier, when they play Cavalier, what Cavalier does that they lock off all the wing areas, because that's where Mount Pleasant get most of those goals that they scored throughout the whole season. The wing players. And you saw it yesterday. Devante Campbell going down that left-hand side. The Arborview right back, he'd have a bad day defending, Devante Campbell, until when he got off the field, he had a little breather. So you just cannot. I just don't think it's right for playing Phillips in that number 6. Trust me. And at times you could see that him and Romeo Guthrie rotate, but Arborview midfield, that's where Arborview kind of let Mount Pleasant off the hook. Then Arborview now start to play out of shape. They start to rush the game. Arborview got the game. Just play the game simple in the midfield, as Arborview is playing with 3 players in the midfield. Meanwhile, Mount Pleasant is playing 2 with Nathaniel James is playing as a supportive striker, coming back and trying to fill that gap in the midfield for both players. So Arborview have the better players in the midfield who is more powerful, who is more with long range pass. So this is why Arborview kind of start their build up deep and then bypass. That's why they don't really have a number 10 right now, and then bypass. They midfield 3 play together and they play deep and they build up in their own half and then bypass and then go over. Either they got the ball over to Fagan, or they get the ball to feed to him, or they played it wide. So Mount Pleasant, man, Tapa, I don't know, man. You getting some stuff wrong. Most coaches I seen getting stuff wrong. So if you guys really watch Tapa Whitmore in his time when he used to play, no coach in Jamaica would have played Tapa in our number 6, as Tapa is one of the most creative players Jamaica have ever produced in the midfield. So no coaches would have played Tapa in a number 6 position. They would have played Tapa. Is it that get a player, like Hector Wright, a player that really strong, can physically hold off a competitive midfield and play Tapa alongside him? Or are you going to play Tapa in front of a double pivot? So that's how you can play Phillips, and he can play multiple positions. He can play that supportive striker, as what Natty was playing, or he can play that left hand side or that right hand side. But I won't play Phillips in the wing plays, for Mount Pleasant, as they already have a lot of players in those areas. So play the man in the number 10. That's his best role, and played Romeo Guthrie and Ramon Owell, or played whoever you want to play. Sule McCullough in that midfield. But that Mount Pleasant midfield, is so soft. This is why, better teams run over them. This is why they got 2-0 down there at Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. Midfield soft. And when they played Montego Bay at Westport Park, yeah, sets up book now, go up on my phone and text Gene Claudia, and I said, yo, what do you think about the game? He said, yo, Mount Pleasant team is a very strong team, but the midfield is soft. He have his own way in the midfield. And he said, playing against a team like Cavalier or a team like Arnett Garden, you just don't have enough time on the ball. You're not going to be allowed on the ball more than a second. These teams going to press you when you know that you is the best player in the midfield. So this is why Mount Pleasant sometimes struggle in games. Struggle. Look, the last game that they played at home, it was against Mullines. The player that scored the goal for Mullines, the 22, I think his name is Brown, Javan Brown, something like that. And then they have Jeremy Nelson. Brown is not the best player. He's not the best player ball to feet, but he can do a good job. But also, he's very aggressive. Jeremy Nelson, he can play any type of game you want to play. Aggressive, can play tactical, he can play box to box, anything you want him to play. And that's how they run the midfield. 2 players run the midfield in Jacksal against Mount Pleasant. If Mount Pleasant can get this I don't know why am I sitting here wasting my time talking about Mount Pleasant midfield. When Tapa Whitmore of Jamaica national team can't find a midfield, playing man like Javan Watson in a midfield, and I don't know why I'm sitting here wasting my time talking about. I forgot totally got it's Tapa Whitmore coaching Mount Pleasant team. Really good team, a team that I really admire, a team that I really love. Watching them, especially having a lot of players, and show that's quality players. But I would just love to see Mount Pleasant, bring in a little bit more youngsters. Yeah, I saw what's his name? Macalai, player named Douglas, something like that. Yeah, on the bench yesterday. So I want to see more young players coming through that academy system for Mount Pleasant, man. But yeah, need to do better, man. Need to do better in that midfield. Need to get that midfield sorted out. Anyhow, Mount Pleasant can get that midfield sorted out. No team in the Jamaican Premier League will win the league this season if they sort out that midfield, yeah? But it's not the time to do all of that change up right now, Tapa. My friend Joy Smith, so 8 games leave in the Jamaican Premier League, so it's getting there, man. It's getting there. But yeah, people, come to an end, man, of the show. Yeah, 1 hour and a half. 1 hour and a half, we're talking about the Jamaican Premier League. This is the first time I've watched 6 games in the Jamaican Premier League. This is the first time. I was watching, as I said, the Umblian game that I watched about the game because they stored it live on the Instagram page. I was watching a little bit of that. I was watching the Arnett game that didn't feature, and I watched all 4 featured games. So, yeah, some whole lot of games there. I wish all games, televised, but it don't, not as yet. Yeah, so, people, bless up on yourself, man. Look, thanks for tuning in, yeah? The Cardi Media House Jamaican Premier League review. You don't know, and Saturdays is the preview also, yeah? Start to do previews, more and more. I think I've done 4 previews already, so, yeah, previews. And also, I'm thinking about another little quick segment. Another quick segment on the JPL, probably a statistics show of all the statistics of the match days, as go deeper than how much goals kick and target, how much shots they go deeper than that. Yeah, thinking about it, so can put out, and I'm trying my best, man, to put out a lot of videos about the Jamaican Premier League, because in the past they don't have these type of stuff happening. Probably 10-15 years ago when I was a fan, watching Arnett Garden everywhere. So Yeah, now I know, people, everyone around the world is knowing about Jamaican Premier League. And also, look, I had when I put out Jamaican Premier League content, I I always have around five. It's always in between 5 to 10% percentage of people, from Brazil watch the videos. Yeah, and that's solely down to the Brazilians at Montego Bay. Yeah, credit goes out to them. Yeah, shout out to William Ferreira. Shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Jean Claudio Ferreira. Always showing respect to my Jamaican Premier League content, but not also to the channel. Yeah, big big supporters of the channel. Don't really understand everything what I said, but from time to time, have communication. They actually, watch the show. So bless up, So the league is getting out there. People in Brazil, and also, how am I forget this? And also, I was I was talking to the man to be a number 10, Gene, and he was actually telling me that, because of the three Brazilians that's in the league, especially the coaches are Brazilian, more and more Brazilian agents are watching the league. Yeah, the Brazilians are watching the league every week on YouTube. So that's really good. You just never know who is watching the league. That's why young players, man, always showcase your talent, put your best foot forward, because you just never know. And also, I know for a fact, um, people that live in Northern Europe, like Slovenia, Slovakia, especially on the east, yeah, especially on the Eastern European side, like stretch go back to like Albania, Serbia, then people that watch the Jamaican Premier League. Yeah, there's this particular channel that do I would say like a watch along, but it's just there like it's the watch along is managed by like a app where it's just you just see some little things going forward. You see when the teams are attacking, and I saw two or three other YouTubers who, from that section of the world in that Eastern European side is doing stuff like that. And I look in the comment section and the type of names that I saw commenting, people down there commenting. Yeah, I don't understand what they're saying, but people down there commenting. And when you look at their names are like, Serbian names, like Albania names, what's that other country? Cyprus, names like that. I'm good with geographical stuff like names and country and all that. So yeah, I knew, you know, it's people from that side and then people from the north side, Slovenia, Slovakia, you know, up in that northern side of Europe. But yeah, the league man is getting globalized. Can't wait for this to just explode. The world be watching Jamaican Premier League. I'm glad. I'm so happy that I started this last year May. Started doing Jamaican Premier League content, in October, and I am going to be a part of this journey because it's going to be something great. I'm telling you, I'm just feeling it, just listening to how people who is running the organization of the Jamaican Premier League talking, things are actually going up. And also, I have not few, but I have a lot of friends, who is playing in the Jamaican Premier League who I knew from school days, I talk to them and, like, what you like about the league, from before COVID and then after COVID, and they giving positive results. Yeah, some players said their money is up. Yeah, and clubs are spending more and more money in the transfer market, and more players are on contract. But it's not the best. It's not the best in terms of salary, but it's going up. It's going up. There's progress. Trust me, there's progress. There's a whole bunch of progress, man. But you just have to just look at it. Don't look at the big cracks that open up, 30 years ago. Look at the field, look at You look at the stadiums. You look at the coaches. Even the coaches are getting better. But don't just look at those little things. You can just look at administrative stuff, all of that. You could see Treasure Beach is another team that they 13 in the league, but guess what? They are farming a really good um technical staff that can manage the club. And I have Treasure Beach. If they go down, which I think they will do, I have them to come back up if they can keep the same structure. And they have sponsors. Yeah, they have sponsors. As you know, this in St. Elizabeth, not many, it's 43 years since a team from St. Elizabeth don't play in the Jamaican Premier League. I think it's 43 years. So it's so long, over 4 decades, So people are coming on board to sponsor the team and all that. You saw Lyman is trying to do the same thing as what's his name? Varney Clark spoke a few matches there back, said, they having extra bodies coming in and the coaching staff, trying to strengthen it up. And you could see it's probably that's why, things were really taking a hard hit on them. And the coach even said it. Lewin Percy actually said it in the game that they played. I think the game that they played against Portmore at Jackson, Lewin Percy actually said that, the backroom staff are taking way too longer to get the players registered to can play. So you could probably see that, probably it's just not what's happening on the pitch. Who know if, they started out as they are now as a team, as technical staffs, the team probably would have been in a better condition. Also, same for Treasure Beach. And look, Montego Bay is the same team that, don't start the season well, having a little issues, kind of getting things settling, and, new owner getting the academy for Montego Bay up and running, strengthen the technical team around, Nadia de Santos, also the administrative stuff, gathering more and more businessmen, on the board of Montego Bay is crucial. Yeah. So, and you could see that more money spent in the transfer window, more players came in, and you could see that the results are getting better. It's just a regular thing that's always happening in Jamaican Premier League. Sometimes when you see clubs are having difficult times, it's not just down to what on the pitch. Because I remember when I was a youth watching Arnett Garden, especially in the spell where I would say after 2005, right after 2005, down that time. Look, when Boystone just got promoted back, in the Premier League in 2005 season, right in that time, yeah, Arnett Garden is like the team take a dip. And so many stuff happen over there in Arnett Garden, administrative stuff with, forgot Charlie Chaplin, Omar Davis, what's the other name? Forgot his name, but so many stuff, man. I think Patrick Roberts, so many stuff happened, during that time from 2000. It almost took 10 years before Arnett Garden can really find back themselves and things are working out. And as soon as Arnett Garden, got out of that little bubble where they're having financially issues, which is crazy for me, if and when Arnett Garden going administrative stuff, financial problem, it's just crazy. A team that's one of the most marketable team in the league, Arnett Garden. The field you saw in the JPL, only Arnett Garden have the most games, the featured games. Arnett Garden hosts the most games in the Premier League. Arnett Garden have one of the biggest, 4 blocks of stands, 2 on each side. Harborview have one right around. Yeah, that's the closest to Arnett Garden. But when you look at the facility, I remember when I was a youth, even going there to play as a youngster, in the academy, the gym was magnificent. Yeah, and it used to have, they probably still do, and it used to have a bar. It's right below the level where on it VIP section. Not many clubs have VIP where you have proper seatings. I remember when those seatings went in, it used to look really like a professional club, But it took almost 10 years for Arnett Garden to get out of that little financial bubble. And Arnett Garden changed managers probably like two average a manager two in a season. Yeah. Max Straw, Fabian Davis was player manager at the time, Admiral Bailey, Jeffrey Maxwell, Jerome Wade came in around 2 to 3 times during that spell. There are so many so many coaches. Alex, I think Alex used to dare. No, that was when Alex was a player. I forgot that player. Shoot. But there was another former player that used to be on the coaching staff, Denton Shedden, used to be there. So, I used to go through it, man, and they still support that team. But yeah, and then when you look, things kind of take a toll and the team start to progress more steady, financially wise and administrative wise. They have the best people in the best position. And what Omar Davis did, he passed on the baton to a younger head, which is Mark Golding, who is the current, chairman of the club. So, and then after Mark Golding took over, Charlie Chaplin left the club, Patrick Roberts left the club, so many bodies and fresher ideas, younger people came in, and Arnett Garden is like that. But yeah, Arnett Garden is one of those clubs, man, we have used. I don't know if the gym is still up to standard, but the bar that used to under the VIP seating, there's a bar where it's like a sports bar. You can go there. Remember when big officials used to go there before games and just to have a drink before games. So Arnett Garden was one of those teams, and still the teams that who have one of the best facilities. Just that it's just need to move a little bit more up, take advantage of the huge fan base that Arnett Garden have. I'm waiting for that owner to come in. I don't think Mark Golding is trying to maximize that enough. He's is he the opposition leader right now? I think so. But too busy doing politics. But yeah, that's the next thing too. Need to get rid of some of them politicians out of the clubs. Yeah, but people, nice show, love the show. Yeah, all heap of experience over here. Spearheading the Jamaican Premier League review. All heap of thing. As I told you guys before, it's not too much to tell you guys. As every day someone else new watch the channel. I have over 2 decades of experience watching the Jamaican Premier League. So I know from the 2000, I can remember when Arnett Garden is winning the double and winning those trophies by Harbourview Mini Stadium when you start the mid-season final and all of that. Yeah, so from them time there until now, yeah, over 2 decades of experience watching the Jamaican Premier League. So I had 15 years. I had 15 years. 15 years of watching the Jamaican Premier League in the stadium. 15 years. I had 50. Probably my father could say more, but I'm counting from when I remember watching the Jamaican Premier League the first season, 2000 when the century turned over. 2000, yeah. Start to watch the league at that time until about 2014, 2015 when I migrated from Jamaica. So I had 15 years watching the league up and down with my dad. Yeah. So all that I experience, man. So all that knowledge I can give, I remember when I passed on a knowledge of one of my worst away ground in the Premier League was actually Constant Spring. Constant Spring have one of the most violent fans who say some stuff that you don't want your 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old hear those type of things, those colorful language, But so yeah, 15 years of watching the league, man. Day to day in the Jamaican Premier League, and another 10 years watching it on TV, still watching it up to today. Some people, migrate and lose them way, forget about Jamaican Premier League, but No, 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 no. This come first. Yeah, this come first. This is the Jamaican Premier League. Yeah, I'm watching this league when players are getting 20,000 a month. You can imagine players used to get 15,000 a month. I mean, during the early 2000s, it probably a little bit heavyweight when you look at it. No, kind of a little bit heavyweight because I remember them bun and cheese at Jamaica used to be like $80 at that time, you know, or $100 at that time. Yeah, but no, can't be for box food money at Jamaica right now. You know, but yeah, man, watching the league from then, man. So still there, Lagan, still there, glue on, and this is actually one of my dream, yeah, of doing work on the Jamaican Premier League. I used to say that when I was a kid. I used to say a few things. I used to say I used to want to play in the Jamaican Premier League. Which I think if I was living in Jamaica a bit longer, I would have played in the Jamaican Premier League. But I said I used to want to play for Jamaican Premier League. I want to play for Arnett Garden. That didn't work. Went there as I was how old I was. Probably I was 14. Went there as a 14-year-old, and things didn't happen. You guys probably know the story, with Byron Earl. Yeah, legendary. And even up to today, I was messaging my coach, Coach Chin, yeah, telling me that I'm still I do that. I still, leave him in the rut, but nothing like that, man. But coach, big up yourself. But yeah, I was there, man. I was there for 4 months training with the U15 team and didn't make an appearance. Every game I hear my ID will be ready next game and next game. Yeah. No. Phyllis Saprissa. If I was living in New York, if I was living in New York no, I would go, Dan Gargan. If I live in New York, I would go to that Philly and Saprissa as it's like 4-hour drive from New York to Philly. Yeah, I would have gone. I'm trying to make it down there in Arlington. That's the big one, man. That's the one I'm looking to go. I don't know if it's because Nations League is in town and if it's why 2 games is actually in Arlington. Not in Arlington, but the stadiums are 30 minutes apart. The FC Dallas MLS Stadium and the Dallas Cowboys Stadium is like 30-45 minutes apart from each other. In Texas, and Canada will play Trinidad on the Saturday, and that's the 23rd. And I think the other game, no, I still commute to New York and back and forth. Still, I'm still living in New York. But not there right now. Not there right now, yeah? Not there. I'm down south, yeah, living down south in Charleston right now. Not there, but why I say, hold on, yo, link up on Instagram. But here I go on. I gotta tell you the reason why, but I have the thing put on for both the ticket and the match day ticket and everything, but there's one thing we kind of block me. But just link up on Instagram, Dan Gargan. Just link me. You see, but yeah, that's where the big thing, man. I'm trying to get there down there at Arlington as not two, but 6 games will be playing over the weekend in Texas. The Jamaica versus US, the Mexico versus Panama. I think Honduras. Is it Honduras and Costa Rica is in that other playoff for the Copa America with Trinidad and Canada. But yeah, that game actually played on the Saturday. So that is 4 games already, and then you will have an extra 2 more games on Sunday, which is the final and which is the 3rd and 4th. So it's a whole lot of games, and I was looking at the tickets to go. Also, if I'm going to be in Texas, I'm looking at the ticket to go to I'm looking at tickets to go to the Canada game, and it's actually $300. Hell no, I'm not paying $300 to go to a Canadian game. After I start the Reggae Boys playing, if it's the Reggae Boys playing, I would do anything to support and watch my country. And about $300 in Canada. No, 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 no. That's too much. That is way too much to go and watch a country that where I'm not from, man. You know, if it was the Reggae Boys, I would down to earth to pay that money. Yeah, I would down to earth to pay that money, man. But yeah, that's where the big one is at. You know, look a bit under a month, look a bit over a month from now. Jamaica versus US. You know, I think I might be there though. I think I might be there, but there's a few things though that needs to be get cleared up. But remember, Dangaga link me up on Instagram, yeah, cause I want to go to Jamaica game so badly. I want to go to the game so badly because I just have a feeling that we're going to smash the US. Yeah, we're going to smash the US, and I want to see Ronaldo Cephas down that left hand side, especially when there's no surge in the desk. There's going to be the wild oats, DeAndre Yedlin. More likely going to be DeAndre Yedlin. Or they might, can use one of those center of like Richards playing at right fullback, but it's going to be DeAndre Yedlin. But people, yeah, I have to go, man. Big up on yourself. Yeah, remember that guy, man. We're going to communicate through Instagram. I'm going to link you in the next 15 minutes from now. Yeah, because I can't believe you book a ticket going down to Arlington, Texas. I link a few fans and they said they're going down by Texas too. So, yeah, man, we're going to do it, man. But people, we have gone 2 hours. Yeah, just 3 minutes under the 2 hour mark. So, bless upon yourself. Really appreciate people and really appreciate it. Yeah. Next up, I'm going to give you guys pricing of what it used to be of go to away games in the Jamaican Premier League as a away fan when they know that you're particular supporting a Waterhouse or on it. Yeah. I'm going to give you a little bit of history on that next preview next week on the review. Yeah. So don't forget to miss that. Some clubs are crook in the Premier League when it comes on to teams coming to their home ground. Yeah. But yeah, man. Bless up on yourself, man. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Yeah. Remember, the big game should be next week. Arnett Gardner will play Waterhouse. More likely, the first game I think played at Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. So now it will be either probably more likely Stadium East Sabina. It's not going to be at Arnett. Or if Waterhouse lights are fit enough, it will play at Joseland. But yeah, more likely, Stadium East Sabina. That game will play. Might play at JC Ashenheim Stadium, but not really a good field, too bumpy. But yeah, people, I'm out. Thanks for watching. This is Carden Media House. Catch me again. Look out. Remember, I'm still thinking about that statistic show about the Jamaican Premier League. Yeah, each match is give you guys some deep details about stats of the Jamaican Premier League clubs. But yeah, tomorrow also looking for that morning insider tomorrow morning at 8. Yeah, mad. Peace out. Salute.